College wrestling season is underway. First week just finished up, and we are going to talk about the biggest movement in the rankings, biggest stories in the rankings. JD and myself, we put together a fresh set of rankings every Monday night. We release them on Tuesday, and so want to hop on here every week, just talk about the biggest stories. And so right off the top, I want to address, why is AJ Ferrari not number one at 197 pounds? He is the only guy in the field who's a national champion, but we have him ranked number 4. And you know, there's a lot of discussion, talk, arguments that myself and JD have had with Christian. Christian thinks he should be number 1. Which, you know, there's an argument for that. I think it's wrong. But AJ has missed 3 straight NCAA tournaments. That is really unprecedented, and we just think it does a disservice to the rest of the wrestlers in the field who have been competing, who have, you know, been putting on the line and have competed at NCAA tournaments the last 3 years. So guys like Buchanan, Cardenas, and Rocky Elam, they've all had really good seasons. They're ranked ahead of AJ right now. If AJ, you know, goes out and beats someone like Cardenas or beats Rocky Elam, maybe we'll see him move up to number 1. But right now, AJ is going to stay at number 4. And, you know, if you have an argument, we want to hear it. Put it in the comments. Make your case where you think AJ Ferrari should be ranked. Continuing on, we're going to look at 174 pounds. You see, Roco Welsh is no longer in the rankings. He wrestled at 184 last weekend, and we moved him out. He was originally set to be in the All-Star, but we've got word he's either going to be redshirting this year or wrestling up at 184. So he's out of the rankings, out of the All-Star. Cade DeVos is going to be taking on Levi Haynes in his place. And so right now, we're keeping Roco Welsh out of the rankings. If he continues to wrestle at 184, if he wrestles attached, then, you know, he'll go right back in, and he'll probably be a top 4 wrestler. At 165, Terrell Bearclaw, he's the big mover in all weights. He jumps from number 14 to number 7 after taking out returning All-American Hunter Garvin. Bearclaw, you know, he's been at Penn State, you know, spot starting, hasn't been able to, was never able to crack the lineup as a starter full time. Now he goes to Utah Valley and right away gets a huge win over Garvin. And Garvin was ranked number 3 after All-American last year. So the question, you know, maybe you have is, why isn't he up to number 3 now? Why did we choose to bring Garvin down to number 8 and Bearclaw only up to number 7? And really that is a testament to Garvin. His resume last year, he entered the NCAA tournament ranked number 22. He really didn't have an All-American season until the NCAA tournament, where, you know, in the season he lost to Garrett Thompson, lost to Connor Brady, Tyler Lillard. So Garvin, you know, he drops back down, still holds that top 10 position, but he doesn't really have the resume to keep him in that top 5. But Bearclaw, man, he is a guy to watch out for. He's a guy who really, he could move up into the top 5 at 165. So yeah, keep an eye out for Bearclaw, and really keep an eye out on Garvin. You know, does he dip back down, or is he able to, you know, get another top 10 win and hold his spot at 165? At 141, not too much movement, but you will see Casey Swerski come in at number 5. Swerski, All-American 149 last year. The dude's a dog. He's dropping down to 141 pounds. We know that's a big cut for him, but man, he could insert himself right in with the top guys, with, you know, Jesse Mendez, with Bo Bartlett, Andrew Alirez. You remember, Swerski's a guy who beat Mendez twice in high school. And yeah, he's a guy to watch out for. Really going to be interested to see how he handles the weight cut, how soon we see him down there. Casey Swerski at number 5. Definitely a big player at 141. Finally, 133, the big story here is Anthony Notto, 2-time All-American at 125, placed 3rd and 4th in NCAAs. Noto's up at 133, and right off the bat, he loses to a guy who was unranked last week, Ethan Bergen. And so Notto, man, he was number 2 at 125, and now at 133, he drops all the way down to number 14. And so, man, it could be a wake-up call for him. Does he stay at 133, or does he drop back down to 125? And, really this could just be adjustment too for Notto. He's just, first time at 133, tough Ethan Bergen, who is, ranked in and out last year at 125. So going to watch out for Notto, going to see whether or not, he has those results he had at 125, or if, he isn't the same national title contender at 133 as he was at 125. So those are the big changes this week in the rankings. Right now we're only ranking up to 24. Next week, we're going to extend our ranking up to the top 33. Wanted to let the dust settle a little bit the first 2 weeks of the college season before we expand to that full 33. And so maybe a little bit reasoning why we rank 24, 23. Top 24 at NCAAs, that is what scores team points. And then, of course, there are 33 qualifiers for the NCAA tournament. So that's the reasoning why we rank 24 and 33. So that's it for this week, all the movement. You can look at our full set of rankings on FloWrestling.org for free. They go live every Tuesday morning after the weekend of college wrestling. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your feedback. If you want to roast us, that's fine too. If you think we made a mistake, let us know. Let us know if you think we should do something like this every week. We love to geek out on wrestling rankings. It's one of our favorite things to do, and we know you care about it too. If you don't, that's fine too. But hey, we'll catch you next week.